What is your I was into X before it was cool thing? I worked for a movie theater chain in 1996, and my boss got a VHS copy of Jesus vs. Santa Claus at some industry event. We watched that video a dozen times and laughed our asses off. About 6 months later South Park debuted on Comedy Central and we were very excited to see it had been picked up. Sent an electronic mail message from my car using a HP 48G calculator and a ham radio in 1993. That feat got published in a technical magazine. Nothing about that first sentence sounds cool, but I know the G is for gangster. I don't know what those things are or how they work. But you are a damn trailblazer. Respect. I disagree, sounds cool as fuck. Snowboarding, you couldn't even bring them to resorts. 1983. This is before it was too hot. There are still mountains that prohibit snowboards. I don't understand it. Skateboards. 1964 or so. Damn, that's before the Lords of Dogtown. That's so cool. Did you grab a piece of wood from the hardware store and make one? My uncle was a skater in the 60s and he said he took wheels from roller skates and attached them to his homemade board. I came across the Lonely Islands website when I was about 11 or 12, 02/03, before Andy Samberg or the other two, Akiva and Yorma, were big. They had a video where they spliced all these old NES games together into a skit and it was friggin' hilarious. I never realized the video was them. I love that video. Thank you. Do you happen to remember their TV pilot Awesome Town? It never even aired, but my buddies and I saw it before they became popular and joined SML and we absolutely loved it. We used to quote random bits from it all the time. Home computing. I started in 1976. Before RGB there was only green. Steve Wozniak. Is this you? I first saw The Simpsons when it was a sketch on the Tracy Ullman Show, and thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I was ecstatic when I learned they were making a full cartoon of it. I watched it religiously up until about season 15 or 16 before I finally switched to every once in a while like we all eventually did. I feel you. The love is there. But it had to evolve. They used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what they're with isn't it anymore, and what's it seems weird and scary. It'll happen to you. Another Simpsons season 0. I was around 6 at the time and my parents would let me stay up a bit late to watch the Simpsons sketches. They showed Simpsons roasting on an open fire for the 30th anniversary and only then did I really realize, oh yeah, I watched this the very first time it aired. Spotify. I remember I had to use a VPN to use it in my country. I forgot about this one. I distinctly remember telling people about it when I was in 6th grade, 2011, and my teacher telling me something like there's no way that's legal/legit. Hating Bill Cosby. Had to do volunteer work at the local Jell-O museum for 30 hours to graduate high school in 2008. He used to be the spokesperson for Jell-O. I had to listen to him talk about Jell-O in old commercials for 30 hours on a loop. Edit, I should also mention it's the town where a bunch of kids acquired a mass conversion disorder and all thought they had Tourette's. I actually have mild Tourette's, so that's another thing I did before it was cool. The local Jell-O museum. That is a fascinating string of words right there. When I was like 14, some monitor told me off for necking with my then girlfriend in the hall, and told me to be like Cosby and hands off. I shot back that he was in the news for sexual assault, so bad example. That was in like 2004. I remember going around to stores trying to find all 6 issues of Infinity Gauntlet. I had read one while waiting on my mom to finish grocery shopping and I was hooked. That made me a dork in the early 90s. But now it's a $1 billion worldwide phenomenon. Fucking A. I hear you. Silver Surfer number 34. Dude, I remember sneaking over to the comic book rack in the drugstore to read the Infinity Gauntlet series while my mom waited for a prescription. The How to Train Your Dragon books. Unfortunately they're still not cool yet. Terry's books. I enjoy listening to the audiobooks. I can't understand much, but I enjoy it. Hulu in 2008. It used to be completely free, browser-based, with no ads. It was the only way for me to watch new episodes of Heroes every week. Netflix in 05 to 06. Getting not one, not two but 3 DVDs sent to the house for just $9.99 a month. Lol. I used to watch Deadliest Warrior on it when I was around 11. Swine flu, I got it in February 2008 and was the third reported case worldwide. You and the person who got corona should become friends. I just upvoted the third recorded person to get swine flu. Don't want to brag, but I bought some N95 masks the second week of January. Someone had a big brain moment. I had that same thing. Everyone in California learned their lesson after the air quality got so bad during the fires and the hardware stores ran out of N95s, so we all stockpiled. I was in marching band with Markiplier, he was my trumpet section leader. It's weird seeing all these memes and all these famous people talking about a guy I was in high school with. Were you there when he messed up his solo in a full stadium? I was in high school drama with John Jaffrey of JonTron Infamy. I feel you. Listening to Nirvana's Blue Song on student radio, NZ, in 1989 and thinking these guys are good. Had Tesla's stock at $28. Saw an article about it with a starting price of $10. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I remember when Tesla announced the Roadster back in 2007. I was so impressed. I remember thinking, boy, if I had money, I'd buy that company's stock in a heartbeat. Oh, they're not publicly traded? Well, then let me just forget they exist for the next 8 years. Bitcoin. Altcoins didn't exist when I got started with it. Mandatory disclaimer, no, I'm not a millionaire now. I got into Bitcoin early 2017. I sold it and I bought Link last year. A lot of it, under 75 cents, and I haven't touched it. I'm not a millionaire yet, but if it hits $20 I'll be able to cash out half, cover all my debt, take a nice vacation and have spending money for a few years. Cryptocurrency is the greatest wealth transfer of our generation. I kick myself over Bitcoin all the time. I had a few hundred Bitcoins when they were hardly worth anything. I bought a pizza and some PC parts and stopped mining. I got Instagram when it was a photography app back in 2011. Same. I remember asking my friend how she got her photos to look so cool. That's when I discovered filters. Those were simpler times, when it was more fun, personal and not filled with advertisements. Same. Everyone made fun of me for using hipster filters. I'm just glad the Nashville filter has survived this whole time. Lol. I remember when you could read every comic featuring Deadpool in under 2 hours. This was around the time I said an Iron Man movie, and they got some wash-up to play him? This'll go over worse than Daredevil. I was pumped for the Iron Man movie because I had loved the 90s cartoon series that no one remembers. I was out for the night back when I was 17/18/19. A friend and I went to a good pub in Oxfordshire where we thought we'd have a chance to pick up some girls. Ended up getting drunk, taking an E and listening to the band who were pretty good. After their set we popped out of the pub for a quick joint. The band walked over and asked for a toke. Ended up spending the rest of the evening in the back of their van smoking weed and drinking. Turned out that the band was an unknown indie/rock group called Radiohead. A couple of weeks later Creep went international. Been a fan ever since. Edited to correct some piss-poor spelling, edited again. Wow, never thought this would blow up anywhere near this much. Thank you to the generous people who have given me awards, especially the gold one. Dude, that's sick AF. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.